removed 3 years ago. And I want to share with you the trials and tribulations of life without a uvula. And why on earth you would have your uvula removed. And finally, some of the ramifications and side effects of having your uvula removed. Uvula. As you can tell, it's kind of a hard word to say. Uvula, 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 la, 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 la. I don't know what's funnier, the word uvula or the definition. The uvula is this soft lobe that dangles from the back of your throat. From your soft palate in the back of your throat. Excuse me a second. Rich, the uvula is not to be confused with the vulva, which is part of the female genitalia. Totally different parts, okay? I feel the uvula is the Rodney Dangerfield of body parts. It's absolutely no respect. You know, the appendix, you can live without that, right? But at least the appendix has the threat of death if you do not take a ruptured appendix out of your body in time. The uvula just goes on doing its thing, out of sight, out of mind, in the back of your throat. If you don't know yet what I'm talking about with the uvula, about the only time you'll see it is in cartoons or movies when somebody's screaming at the top of their lungs and they do a close-up on their mouth and you see the uvula flapping. Ah! Really loud like that. So that's what the uvula is. I hope everybody has an idea what it is. Many physicians feel that the uvula is not a functional body. It's not a functional body part. It has no reason. Others think it does have part of your speech and your swallowing, part of those functions. So why on earth would you have your uvula removed? Well, 3.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea, obstructive sleep apnea. So that's where your airway collapses when you're sleeping, and you stop breathing, and your brain senses that, and it sends a signal to your body to wake up. I had that happen 45 times per hour while I was sleeping, so I wasn't getting any good sleep. The doctors still say that the best remedy or treatment of sleep apnea is using a CPAP machine, which is a continuous positive airway pressure machine. You wear a mask, and it's tied to a tube that is attached to a machine that generates a flow of air that keeps your airway open all night while you sleep. Well, it's very, very uncomfortable and very, very loud. As a matter of fact, my wife, Jill, banned it from the master suite. So when I had to use it, I had to sleep in the spare bedroom. So I didn't want to go on for 40, 50 years of my life. Hopefully I've got 50, 60 years left in my life. I didn't want to go on, so I was looking for alternatives. I came across a procedure that removes your uvula along with your soft palate and some other tissue in the back of your mouth that would help keep your airway open. So I thought, who needs a uvula? What the heck, let's do it. So I had the surgery, and it was very trying. I've had a few surgeries in my life, and it was the worst recovery of all. It was extremely disgusting, which I will get into that. The ramifications of a missing uvula include, when I play with the kids, I like to be able to play possum sometimes and sleep. And the problem is I can't snore to help convince them that I'm sleeping. I try to snore. I got nothing. I can't snore. Another downfall of not having a uvula is I will never be able to have a uvula piercing. It's very sad. It's very disheartening. And frequent gagging is a problem without a uvula. Food and drink moves towards the back of your throat, and it triggers the gagging reflex. So a lot of times, I'll just choke on my own spit. I'll gag on my own spit. I'm very talented. And sometimes, you just throw up in your own mouth. It's the human equivalent of a cat's hair. Finally, most importantly, the doctors never mentioned this once at all. I had a second opinion before I got the surgery. It has an adverse effect on your sex life. As I said earlier, the surgery was disgusting. You've got scab-covered wounds in the back of your mouth. They're bloody, they're oozing, so you've got this blood oozing, phlegm oozing from your orifice. So for a week, you've got to keep spitting this stuff out, and my wife is still scarred from seeing me spit out the bloody scabs into an empty Gatorade. Took her a while to get over that. And finally, the worst ramification is when I brush my teeth, it's easy to gag. And the toothbrush combines and gets mixed with the saliva, and halfway through brushing, it expands to the back of my throat. Well, I have to hock a loogie, otherwise I'll gag. So I brush, I hock, I spit. I brush, hock, spit, brush, hock, spit. This goes on for a couple of minutes, and Jill cannot hear this. Otherwise, there's no hanky-panky for Tyler that night. Through our journey, I hope we've explored the uvula. I hope you have a new appreciation for the body parts. Had I known what it was in it, I may have thought twice about chopping off my little lobe friend in the back of my throat. So I hope you have a new appreciation also, and it does have a purpose in life.